Oh my, this looks strong. Oh, and what do you do here? What a curious kingdom. So there's a lot. So we got Marquis-Scepter, which is kind of a combo unto itself. Actually, it's quite a combo unto itself because we have Way of the Oh, curious. Is that competitive here? So for context, you play Marquis. It draws you 4 cards. Then you're in your buy phase. Then you play treasures until you've got 5 other cards plus a scepter in your hand. Then you play the scepter, which replays the Marquis, which draws you up to 10 cards. Then you play treasures again until you're back down to 5 cards plus a scepter. Then you play another scepter, which draws you back up to 10 cards. And you just draw all the way through your deck. And that's like a real nice simple engine where you just click Marquis and scepter bunch in the end. The biggest downside to that deck, of course, is you have to have that singular Marquis at the start of your turn, which is hard to line up reliably. But here you could use one scepter to frog the Marquis to top deck it. And so in normal circumstances, frog Marquis scepter would feel like just clearly the thing to do. But we've also got like King's Court and Dominate and Bishop and tons of alt VP. So I would have to worry that the deck that does real things and builds a little bit bigger ends up outscoring the Scepter deck before you can empty provinces. But I mean, the Marquis-Scepter thing feels like it should be real strong. Is there a way to like put those two together? I mean, not really, right? Because all the Marquis stuff of interest is happening in the buy phase. See, like you couldn't just trivially throw in a bishop or something into that deck and play it at the end of your turn. I really want to do the Marquis-Scepter thing because it's got like, if those 2 cards are nice, and this kingdom has the one thing it's usually missing, which is a nice, reliable way to top deck the Marquis. But at the same time, it's like staring at King's Court and Dominate and Bishop, and just thinking, like, you give that a few turns, and it'll score 100 points, easy. But I want to do the Marquis thing. So if we build an engine, that engine's not that hard to build. Like, we got okay trashing here with Goat Herd. You get draw with gear. The engine can use Marquis as well, maybe even discard some trails. And then you get King's Court, some stuff. That's gonna be fast. But I want to just play with Marquis and Scepter, and I need to find a way to justify that to myself. I don't want to do the fancy stuff here. The Marquis deck probably wants to trash its estates, right? You know, King's Court be damned. I'm gonna do the Marquis-Scepter thing. We'll see how foolish this ends up being. I think it's just gonna be Goat Herd Silver, and then trash some estates, and then just buy 1 Marquis and a bunch of Scepters, and that is the entirety of the deck. Huh. Why didn't he play the trail? I thought that was the whole reason he bought the trail. I'm confused. So he's got exactly 5 cards in his hand. And if he triggered a shuffle, the shuffle would just have like silver and 2 coppers on the top, which feels pretty good, right? Like you're causing whatever you set aside to miss the shuffle. I don't know. He's got something in mind. I would think that you would just take the... I didn't mean to buy silver there. I accidentally auto-played it. But as it happened, the silver was the thing I would have bought anyway, so that worked out well. Play your Goat Herd, please. Pretty please. 4 is an ugly number. I want to hit 5. So it'd help me a lot if you could trash. That's just how we're going to be, is it? I wonder if maybe the Goat Herd wasn't worth it. But my Goat Herd does make his Goat Herd draw, and then maybe that's bad. And maybe I'd probably be hitting 5 a little bit more often. I have a few more scepters in my deck if I didn't bother trashing the estates. Like, the estates aren't lovely for this deck. They kind of get in the way, but maybe it just wasn't worth it to try to trash them. I feel like I'm probably going to lose this one, and I think I know why. But I just wanted to have fun, okay? What are those bottom 3 cards? It can't be estates, right? So it would behoove me to just play the Goat Herd. I only need to hit 5. I want to buy a Scepter. And this gets me 1 card further through my shuffle and back to my Marquis. I think I'm going to lose. Like, his deck looks like it's getting places pretty fast. My deck has not gotten online quite as quickly as I would like. I'm thinking the Goat Herd, yeah, this Goat Herd just feels like a mistake to me. Also, bottom deck Marquis here sucks a lot. Like, this is like 2 whole turns I'm losing just from Marquis being in the bottom third instead of the top third of my deck. But maybe J. Dot could trash a card for me, pretty please, and then I could play this Goat Herd and I can draw my Marquis. That would be nice, wouldn't it? Yeah, there we go. Alright, I'm feeling it. The Marquis is right there on the top. I'm going to draw it. All will be right with the world. I'm not even going to trash here, because if I draw a copper, I want to be able to buy a 5. Oh, dang it. Okay, here we go. It's go time. Things are going to happen. Perhaps a little too late. Yeah, turn 11 is not the turn I wanted this to start on. Oh, goodness me. This took way too long to get going. I think it should have been double silver, but I also think, you know, that last shuffle was pretty terrible for my deck. Like, this could have been turn 9 rather than turn 11 if Marquis had been on top. He doesn't have a King's Court quite yet. I wonder if makes it no, never mind. I was gonna say I wonder if it makes any sense for him to buy a province to wheelwright into King's Courts. But if you're gonna buy a province to discard to wheelwright, why not just buy a King's Court to discard to wheelwright, which would achieve the same function but be more flexible and also not lower provinces. I'm cruising for a bruising, I think. Because like the problem is I've got to empty all 8 provinces, don't I? Or maybe I should build a dominate. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, the problem is his deck is going to do a lot more than mine over the long term, I think. And so again, I got to end the game before he bishops trails 50 times for 200 victory points. So I don't know if dominating is actually going to be worth it. Okay, so I want to have 5 cards plus Scepter, so 3 Scepters, and I need to leave 3 other cards in hand. Now I do this, play. Now I do that again, play. Now I play all of these, some money, and how do I frog it? There we go. Okay, that took a little bit longer than it should have, but we are in business. Should this just be golds? I feel like it should probably just be golds, right? Uh-oh. It's nice when your key card just ends up being right on the top of your deck. Wouldn't that be lovely if that could happen? I'm not sure if I should trash coppers to this bishop. Like, I could maybe afford to trash a copper here and still draw okay. It means this Marquis will draw 3 instead of 4. But maybe that copper trash benefits me over the long term. How does goat herd work? So if I trash a copper to the bishop, it doesn't power up his goat herd. So that's something to its credit. I'm not in time. This deck might be competitive, I think, if I'd gotten started like the turn that I would have wanted to, like 8 or 9. But man, turn 11 is just way too late. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna trash a copper. I'm not gonna trash a second copper. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is exactly enough. Play. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Play. What are those bottom 2 cards? Coppers probably. I should probably just draw them. Frog that. Plus 2 coins. Some more scepters. And some more golds. I wonder if he could just pile out. Probably not this turn, but I mean, already next turn pile out will be a real threat. Do not trash. The bishops are going to just score way too many points. Like, he's already at dominate level VP. And you got another king scored in there somewhere. $7 is not a lot of money, but it is just enough to buy King's Court. I wonder if there's a world where I got a King's Court, and then you do... No, that doesn't work. I was thinking like King's Court Mark... No, it would work, I guess. You get like King's Court Marquis, draw, frog Marquis, and then use a scepter to frog the King's Court. I don't know if that is like a net improvement. Like, imagine I had 7 left instead of 5 and I bought a King's Court. Maybe there's a world where that deck is like slightly better than the deck that I've built. Who knows? Probably not, right? 4, so I need to leave 2 more in hand. 5, so all but 1. Okay. And this deck does a lot. It just doesn't do quite enough. I should dominate now. And dominate again in a silver? Or do I keep building? I don't know. The answer is just that I'm in trouble. How do I win this? I'm not going to. His next turn will in all likelihood be good enough that he just puts up a bunch of points. Like he can gain and play some extra bishops, and then bishop a bunch of trails, and that's going to be a lot of EP. I don't know if he can end. He still probably isn't threatening to end the game next turn. Like he can empty gears, but him getting scepters is not trivial because he doesn't have any plus buy. You can mid-turn gain a Marquis, but only very inconveniently. So I don't think he's seriously threatening a scepter pile out, but maybe. The problem is he's just going to score so many points. How do I threaten to end the game? Maybe I lower scepters. I wish I had one more coin. Scepter plus dominate would not be a bad set of buys. So this was how much money? This was... I spent 14 already. So 32 money? Well, what if instead of dominating, I did quad province and then tried to quad province again? That's threatening a win, isn't it? Let me think about that. So I have enough money to do 4 provinces. And if I draw my deck again, that might take one more scepter because my deck will be thicker, but I wouldn't need to frog a scepter at the end of it all. So I could just quad province twice. Maybe that's my win condition. We just forget about this whole dominate thing. Because he can't quad. So this is safe-ish. We're just going to take 4 provinces. Goatherd on top is probably not ideal. Probably not a huge deal either. One junk card is not enough to be bothersome, I don't think, for this deck. You can't have a problem where you get like too many junk cards and scepters, because what you want is just like... Oh, never mind. I thought he dudded. I'd forgotten to account for the whole trail thing. But this still looks like a suboptimal hand for him. If he's having to bishop now, rather than draw a bunch and then chain king's courts. So this is definitely worse than it could have been. Yeah, what the heck is in his hand? Like he'll probably end up drawing his deck, but this is still a very good sign for me. If he's having to king's court, bishop, trash trails this early on. Because his deck is his deck could do a lot if you chain king's courts and then like use the wheelwright to discard the 3rd king's court for additional king's courts. Then you play that and you go from there. That would get real strong real fast. I think what you really would want to do ideally as Jerry is get to the end of your deck with a king's court and a wheelwright left, and then you just king's court wheelwright, gain 3 more king's courts, draw those, and then that just spirals out of control very fast. And he looks like he didn't manage to pull that off this turn, so I might have a chance. So I'm going to have 48 points at the end of all this. I don't think he can score enough here to... I don't think I have more than 48 points this turn. I may be proven wrong. I mean, he does have 3 bishops left in the deck. And I don't know how much money he'll make, but maybe there's a world where he has enough money to buy dominate. That's 15 points, plus 21 is 36. To beat 48, he'd need to king's court some of those bishops, but I'm looking at all the king's courts. Yeah, I don't think he can beat 48. So I think if I draw here, I'll win. I can, of course, dud. I already see 1 scepter in hand, but I have to find additional scepters for my deck to work. I could just bottom deck all the other scepters. Yeah, even dominating from this position won't be enough. So I think I should be able to win here. I think. Like I added 4 stop. I had 32 money. I added 4 stop cards, which require 1 more scepter play. but I can get that extra scepter play by not frogging the Marquis at the end. So now here's the question, is should I try to draw more than 5 cards? And I think the answer is yes, right? So supposing instead of having 6 cards, I leave 7 cards in my hand. Then after playing Scepter, I have 6. I'll draw up to 12, and I'll have to discard 2 cards. But discarding Goatherd and Province doesn't actually hurt me at all, and that minimizes my chance of dudding by failing to find Scepter. So I should leave 7 cards in hand, I think. 8 cards would be a bit risky, because then I have to discard a lot of cards. I drop to 14, and then I have to discard 4. No guarantee I draw 2 other provinces. I have exactly 32, so I can't afford to discard coppers. So I'm going to leave 7 in hand. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I should just play 1 copper. Please find a scepter. Okay, thank goodness. Now those bottom 12 are chock full of scepters, so I think here I don't need to take any risks. Like, I think if I did the same thing and left 6 after Scepter, forcing myself to discard 2, that'd probably be riskier, because the chance that I find a province to discard is probably lower than the chance that I find her a Scepter. So let's just leave 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh, the Goatherd. Annoying little Goatherd. So do that. We do the Marquis. Okie dokie. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's play all the golds. Oh, actually, well, now I've got 2 in hand guaranteed again, so I can just do the thing I did last time, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So if I would, well, it's kind of pointless anyway, isn't it? Because I have to draw the last card to hit 32. Or maybe I don't. I don't know. I'll just do it this way. Okay, so this is 15, 18, 20, 22, 24, 26, 28, 30, 32. Checks out. I presume that bottom card was a Scepter. Yeah, looks like it. So it would have made no difference. I could have played a Scepter to draw a Scepter. GG. I probably shouldn't have won that. I feel like something in the direction of Jerry Dot's deck is almost certainly optimal. I don't know if he underplayed it. It looked like he had a bad draw at the last turn as well. But I also didn't have phenomenal draws. I think my thing got started a little bit later than it should have.